foundations. You can, thank you. Nicola, at your turn. Thank you very much.
I represent the Earth Focus Foundation. The foundation in Geneva comes from the Bellevue Foundation, which was founded in '77, working a lot with environment, people, children. And the Earth Focus Foundation is the piece that's left. We have worked a lot with raising awareness to sustainable development. Before, with a newspaper, we've had a magazine, we've worked with students here, we've worked with students worldwide, and we believe that the only way to make the change is through learning, sharing, and acting for the rights of nature. But there's a huge amount of ignorance out there, and the young people are not being given what they need and what they wish to really make the change that they want. So after published magazines, published newspapers, we are now moving towards building a platform online. We have a tool that was invented in Geneva called the World Wide Web. I think we should be putting good things on it, because now we can share it worldwide. And I think even the human rights, if you stop many children, I believe, in many countries and ask them what are human rights, they won't even know, because it's probably not in the curriculum. And if it's not in the curriculum, you don't learn it unless you learn it yourself. So we are building, we want to encourage love and respect for nature. How can you respect nature if you have not been brought up with nature? Maybe all of you as children, we don't have many young people here, but remember playing with a worm, remember smelling a flower, remember something in the gardens. Maybe you worked with your grandfather or your grandmother. This is our love of nature. This is why we respect it and want to save it. So respect and responsibilities. But many children nowadays don't have that pleasure. They're brought up in cities, they don't know what it means, and we have to make this a whole holistic image worldwide to make this change we're all talking about and want, and have talked about for so long. And how can we get everybody to work for it? We're very lucky to have now the ABBAs and the signatures, but only the people who understand it are going to sign it. Everybody should have the right to understand it. So this is, I have a few pretty pictures, but we'll miss the pretty pictures. And the magazine got as far as Africa, we did all these different things, and did conferences. I had conferences in the CICG with young people, 300, 400. I've had 100 of them standing there saying we want justice, justice for the planet. They're really enthusiastic. They want to move. They want justice for the planet. But how do you find it if your curriculum says you've got to take this exam, that exam, and the other exam? They want to move and they want to be part of all these things you're doing and we're doing. So we need to share it. And then, how do you say, just like I asked, Lima, COP 20, COP 16, COP 17, Rio plus 20, and Rio 92, as we all know, the whole word was to be just sustainability. The last minute, what was stuck on the end? Because a certain country wouldn't sign it unless development was put there. This is, when 20 years later, we're in a mess, aren't we? Sustainability is understandable. Sustainable development is perhaps a lot of the problem. And I'm not sure, but I think that it's very unfair to think that those people sat in Lima talking, but they don't come out with anything reassuring. And so now we're going to move to Paris and the Sustainable Development Goals. But it's, we all need to be aware of these and make it understood that we are aware and that we want something. And I think to help, just not just young people, everybody all over. If somebody tells you you're African, remember this here. Human rights, poverty. Why are people living in poverty? That's not a human right. Maybe we should be fixing that one as well, and it's been since '48. Who's fixed it? Sorry, I know I sound very negative, but if you live in Geneva, you get it. So we all have hope, and hope is what we need, but I think we need to move also very much together, and it's wonderful what you're all doing. Let's all come together and do more. And thank you very much, Thomas, because I admire what you're doing, and I think we should move into more more solutions. We have simple solutions. We make green maps, which is mapping for sustainable development, now known worldwide, a way of getting young people involved, launching sustainable development around the world. And of course, we support Polly Higgins, who was here last year in Geneva, with eradicating ecocide. This is something you can say to young people, look, if we get involved in this, something can change. It's a belief, and we could all get onto that. And I think that these are the things that enthusiasm can bring us together. And just going forwards is the next thing we're doing now is the possibility of launching a platform for sustainable development learning. This will be courses that we wish to share worldwide. We are lucky enough to have a partner who has the platform, and I would like to, if any of you are interested, I would like to say, please come and join us. You can build a course, you can share your information, we can really get this information out with the World Wide Web, different ages, like a supermarket for learning, I want to call it, for learning for the sustainable development. So for little ones to older ones to mothers, to make these values understood and tell people how they can come together and get their governments to move. I've seen Kofi Annan stand in front of a lot of people and say, the UN is we the people. Yes, but do we the people really know what we can do to make things move? And if we don't start it young, how are we going to do it? So this is a global initiative, learning, sharing, acting. We're calling it the Birth Focus Academy. And so we all learn to love and share nature and share it and take responsibility and respect. Then we would move forwards. I believe also for human rights, Bill of Rights, it should be rights and responsibilities. If we have a responsibility, we'll do it. If we have responsibility towards our neighbor, we will seek against the human right. If someone tells us, it was just your right, yes, but just my right, should we have everything for free, so to speak, without doing anything about it? And I think that goes absolutely for the planet as well. Ecocide, eradication, gender, all these things need to be learned, shared, and bring everybody together. Once they know, they will sign. Once they know, they can move. I was going to show you a whole list of subjects that we would like to put on this platform. We don't have a whole list of experts, but you have a whole lot of experts in this room. So please join us. I can share all this with you online, and we'd love to bring this together. And Thomas, I'm sure, will be very active in this, because if we move together, we can make a difference. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And as the last climbing glory, we have, the Earth Focus Foundation is very small, but very ambitious. We wish to build a building in Geneva for sustainable development and human rights. The State Council has said they'll put a piece of land available. We have partners, we have this, but it's Geneva. It takes time. But eventually, an icon from Geneva for all these subjects you believe in, that we can learn it here, first virtually, then in a building, and really Geneva can take its place with the World Wide Web and make an action worldwide. So when you say, Romania, help us, Geneva, we can all get together and say, of course we'll help you. We'll name and shame your government, or because that's the way we should go.